Number 12. The fainting goat paradox. Imagine you're walking along, minding your own business, when suddenly a car backfires. It's a loud, unexpected bang, and you jump. Totally normal. But what if you didn't just jump? What if in that exact moment your legs locked up, you became as stiff as a board, and you fell over like a felled tree in a forest of no one cares? Welcome to the world of fainting goats. These goofy-looking farm animals have a genetic disorder called myotonia congenita. When they get startled or excited, their muscles seize up for about 10 seconds. They don't actually lose consciousness. They're fully aware of how ridiculous they look, but they're completely paralyzed. Now you're probably thinking, okay, cool, but I'm not a goat, so what's the point? The point is, your nervous system can do something very, very similar, and it's a perfectly normal reflex that could get you killed. When you're faced with extreme fear, surprise, or even intense happiness, your brain can flood your body with adrenaline and other stress hormones. This is the fight or flight response, and you know how it goes. But there's a third, lesser-known option in that trio: freeze. Your brain can put the brakes on everything, locking you in place. It's a leftover reflex from our evolutionary past, a last-ditch effort to avoid being noticed by a predator. If you're a gazelle, this might work. If you're a human crossing the street when a bus horn blares, that's not exactly ideal. You're standing there, a deer in the headlights, but instead of being a graceful, majestic animal, you're just a confused bag of meat and bones who forgot how to run. Basically, your nervous system is throwing a tantrum in your honor. Number 11. The diver's paradox. Have you ever been swimming in a pool or the ocean and gotten a sudden cramp in your foot? It's not a fun time, but you know what to do. Stretch it out, maybe rub the muscle, and eventually it goes away. But what if the cramp didn't just come and go? What if it happened as you were diving into a freezing cold lake? When you dive headfirst into cold water, your body has an ancient involuntary reflex called the mammalian dive reflex. It's basically a series of physiological changes designed to help you survive in cold water for longer. Your heart rate slows down dramatically. Blood gets shunted from your limbs to your vital organs to preserve oxygen, and your body enters a state of deep conservation. For a marine mammal, this is life-saving. For a human, it can be a problem. When a swimmer or diver is suddenly submerged in cold water, this reflex kicks in and can cause a phenomenon called hydrocution, or cold shock. This isn't just a shiver. It's a sudden, uncontrollable gasp for air and a complete loss of muscle control. Your body's instinct is to breathe, but you're underwater. So you breathe in, but instead of air, you get a mouthful of water. And that's it. It's a perfectly normal, albeit terrifying reflex that turns your own biology against you. It's like your body's a computer that's running an outdated OS. It's trying to do a cool thing from an ancient history book, but it's totally ignoring the fact that you're an air-breathing mammal standing on a planet that's mostly not water. Number 10. The misunderstood hysterical strength. You've probably heard the stories. A mother lifts a car off her trapped child. A man prees a door open with his bare hands to save someone from a burning building. We call it hysterical strength, and it's this kind of superhuman, adrenaline-fueled power that folklore and action movies are built on. The story usually goes that in a moment of extreme stress, your brain unlocks your body's true potential, bypassing the biological safety limiters that normally keep you from ripping your muscles off your bones. It sounds awesome, right? Like a superhero origin story, a power hidden inside you, just waiting for the right moment to bust out and save the day. The only problem is, it's a perfectly normal human reflex that could get you killed. When your body enters a high-stress fight mode, your brain floods your system with hormones that do two things. They desensitize you to pain and increase your muscle contraction efficiency. Your muscles don't actually get stronger, they just stop holding back. Your brain normally sends signals to your muscles that say, hey, don't contract at 100% capacity because you'll tear your tendons, ligaments, and maybe even rip your biceps clean off your arm like you're in a cartoon. But in a moment of extreme panic, the brain says, screw it, full power. The person in that moment of crisis doesn't feel their muscles tearing or their bones groaning because their brain has put a pin in all the pain signals. So, the car gets lifted, the door gets pried open, and the person gets saved. But afterwards, that hero is in a world of hurt. They're left with torn muscles, separated ligaments, and potentially lifelong injuries. The superhuman strength wasn't a gift. It was your body borrowing power from your future self. And the interest on that loan is physical therapy and a lot of pain. Number 9. The echo chamber of loneliness. Here's a fun one. Imagine you're in a crowded room, maybe a party or a busy cafe. You hear a group of people laughing, but you can't make out what they're saying. You feel like everyone is having a good time, and you're the odd one out. This is a classic example of social anxiety, but it's rooted in something much weirder: the negativity bias. Your brain is wired to pay more attention to bad things than good things. It's an evolutionary leftover from when paying attention to a potential threat, like a rustle in the bushes, was more important than enjoying a nice sunset. Your brain defaults to a threat assessment mode in social situations, constantly scanning for things that might go wrong. Now, take this bias and put it on a loop. Your brain starts to tell you stories. They're probably laughing at me. I bet they think I'm weird. I should just leave. These are all perfectly normal, albeit unhelpful, thoughts that we all have from time to time. But here's where it gets dangerous. Your brain, in its infinite wisdom, loves to confirm its own biases. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe people are judging you, you act differently. You might avoid eye contact, speak less, or cross your arms. People, in turn, might interpret this as you being unfriendly or distant, and they'll naturally keep their distance. Your brain sees this and says, "See, I told you they don't like you," strengthening the belief, and the cycle repeats. You're not being left out. You're building a wall around yourself, brick by brick, with perfectly normal but completely wrong assumptions. Number 8. The don't look down lie. You're standing on a glass-bottom bridge, 1,000 feet in the air. Or maybe you're at the top of a skyscraper, peering out the window. Your brain, in its infinite wisdom, immediately starts telling you a series of very unhelpful things. Your heart rate jumps, your palms get sweaty, and you feel this overwhelming urge to either pull back or, bizarrely, to jump. This is not a death wish. This is a perfectly normal psychological phenomenon with a terrifying name: the call of the void, or l'appel du vide. It's that strange split-second thought you have when you're standing on a high ledge that whispers, "What if I just stepped off?" The thought is shocking and fleeting, and for most people, it's quickly dismissed. But why does a survival instinct manifest as a destructive thought? Scientists think it's a misinterpretation of your brain's own signals. When you're in a high place, your brain is doing 1,000,000 calculations a second to keep you safe. Your heart is racing, not because you want to jump, but because your body is in high alert, pumping blood and oxygen to prepare for a fall that it's desperately trying to prevent. But because that's an anxious, heightened physical state, your brain, the ultimate unreliable narrator, gets confused. It feels the physical sensations and says, "Whoa, that's some intense physical arousal. That must mean I want to jump." It's your brain's clumsy way of asking itself, "Am I in control here? Or am I about to do something crazy?" It's a perfectly normal reflex that, if misunderstood, could send you into a panic attack, or worse, make you recoil so fast you lose your footing. Your brain is essentially asking you a multiple-choice question on a test you didn't study for, and one of the answers is a terrifying hypothetical. Number 7. The fleeing instinct. Imagine you're in a crowded theater and the fire alarm goes off. What's the first thing you think? Is it a drill? Is it real? Now, what's the first thing you do? You look for the nearest exit and start to move. That's because of a perfectly normal primal instinct called group flight. It's a fundamental part of our psychology, a collective panic. When one person starts to run, others follow, not because they've assessed the situation, but because our brains are hardwired to believe that if others are running, there must be a good reason. The problem is, this instinct is designed for open plains, not for the bottleneck of a single theater door. In an emergency, a human stampede becomes its own lethal threat. Instead of calmly and rationally exiting, everyone rushes for the same point at the same time, tripping over each other, creating a terrifying and deadly crush. Your brain, in that moment of collective panic, isn't thinking, "What is the safest exit for me?" It's thinking, "Get out now in any direction everyone else is moving." It's an archaic reflex, designed for a time when the biggest danger was a saber-toothed tiger, not the person in front of you. This herd mentality is a perfectly normal human reflex that, in a modern enclosed space, can easily become the thing that kills you. Your survival instinct is working, just not for the world you're living in. Number 6, the phantom vibration syndrome. You're sitting at your desk, maybe in a meeting, maybe at a quiet library, and you feel it, a subtle buzz in your pocket. You reach for your phone, pull it out, and nothing. The screen is blank. No text, no call, no notification of any kind. This has happened to you. It's happened to me. It's happened to almost everyone with a cell phone. Welcome to phantom vibration syndrome, a perfectly normal human reflex that proves your brain is getting addicted to its own dopamine-fueled anxiety. This isn't just you being a little paranoid, it's a genuine neurological phenomenon. Your brain has created a new, modern neural pathway, a link between the feeling of a vibrating phone and the reward of a new message or notification. It's a classic Pavlovian response, but instead of a bell and a dog, it's a silent buzzing and a human craving a notification. The problem is, this pathway is so ingrained that your brain starts manufacturing the feeling even when it's not there. It's like an itch you can't scratch, or a habit you can't kick. Your brain is essentially on high alert, constantly scanning for the tiny electrical signals that would signal a vibration. When your clothes rustle, your leg twitches, or 100 other minor sensations happen, your brain misinterprets the signal. It's a glitch in the matrix of your own mind, a product of a world where our social connections are tied to a small vibrating rectangle. The danger here isn't getting killed, but it's a silent killer of a different kind. It's a little piece of your sanity that your brain is holding hostage, making you jumpy and anxious for a reward that might never come.